Well, the
Or,
Clinton thing.
and then who became the stick up their ass people?
Yeah, the left.
The left.
Well, and I mean, you're who taught me about oral sex because
You're
the
welcome.
Clinton,
You're welcome, Mrs. Gaetz.
the whole Clinton Ken Starr report really put your critique of the stick in the mud, stick up your ass,
Right.
contingent of politics in the forefront. But like right now, there are times I see the political landscape where I have more in common with the populist leftists than I do the centrists in my own party.
Who does that sound like? It sounds like me on every after show carnage. This is Bill Maher, Club Random. I'm setting up again just to let you know, because I'll clip this up. Bill Maher, and they're going to talk about how Matt Gaetz is one of the rare congressmen that actually wanted to work with the other side. And let's hear about it. You'll be surprised who he had dinner with.
On matters of like government surveillance.
Right.
I team up with Ilhan Omar more than I team up with the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee. On war powers.
You're talking about Elon Omar?
Ilhan Omar, yeah.
Oh, you said it funny.
Well, yeah, you'd be surprised how
Elon
often.
Omar.
Ilhan.
I don't like her. Oh, is that how, am I saying it
Yeah,
wrong?
it's Ilhan.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the prophet. Peace and blessings upon him. I meant no disrespect. Whew, that's getting out of hand.
Yeah,
that
I would
shit.
probably cut that. But I think, I don't know where that's going to lead you, bro, but could be dicey.
No, I mean, I've been down that road before.
Do you, yeah,
I have.
That was your big
You
thing?
have to be, I mean, Zuckerberg just made a big deal about free speech, and I'm behind him on it because I think he's right. He's doing a kind of a mea culpa, like we fact check too much. And look, is there a lot of misinformation? Yeah, but also misinformation has become like a code word for just stuff we don't like. You know, COVID started in a lab. Well, we just don't think that should be out there. So that's well, it wasn't misinformation. Shit like that. Not to
Well,
tell
and the
you.
stuff that's true. Like this, like when people were posting the true side effects of some of these vaccines, you had folks in the White House pressuring social media platforms to get that taken down. And it wasn't even false, but it was just derogatory to the narrative that they were trying to spin at the time. That should not be allowed. And I think the more you decentralize that away from the fact checker model to the community notes model, the more you make it durable to that type.
I'm not going to sidetrack on how much I dislike community notes. It's not better than fact checking. It's gotten worse, even more weaponized than fact checking. It's the same thing. It's just rebranded fact checking. But you can see the conversation going very well here. And he said that he and his wife had dinner with Ilhan Omar and her husband, I believe is what he said there. So they went out and had dinner. That was good. I didn't know that. And Ilhan Omar probably wouldn't want that out there. But I don't know. I can't speak for her. But Ilhan Omar has a lot of potential. But it's the race stuff. And I give Matt Gaetz credit for eating with her because he knows that it's an act. But I can't. If your positions are like that on race, I can't. I'm not going out to dinner with you. If you're there's certain things for me, you can do whatever you want to do. Just for me, I can't associate with you. I don't trust you. Let's get back and finish off this clip here.
Type of government influence.
Yeah. So if you were in the Justice Department, like what would be your number one?
Number one,
yeah, what would
be defang the weaponization. Stop the whole they go after us. I really mean that. Because if I'd have gone in there and done that stuff.
You really think the FBI is that partisan? Because I always thought of the FBI as mostly Republicans, mostly squares, guys who iron their underwear, real straight arrows. The idea that it's infiltrated with all these like super radical left-wing types who are out to get Trump.
See, this is a boomer take. He doesn't understand. Well, the ones that are still like that are now, they support the regime that whatever the regime needs. If Trump is not part of it or for whatever reason they don't like him, then they will do whatever they need to do to get him out. And then he doesn't understand that, yeah, there's a lot more woke in there, of course.
You don't think they had a reason with all the communications that were unprecedented between Trump and Russia? You don't think they had a reason to start that Operation Crossfire investigation? I mean, his fucking campaign manager, Manafort, was completely in bed with the Russians. Michael Flynn and all these people in the administration who had all these discussions with Russians, and then just always Russians. We don't know any Russians. They picture them like 8 Russians.
It feels silly to talk about.
At least merited an investigation.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Manafort. That was a mistake. And Matt Gaetz are going to talk about it, and then that's going to be my takeaway to end this.
It's silly to talk about now that like Trump was some asset of Putin when it was only Trump in the White House where Putin did invade another country. But in terms of when,
well,
in terms of
that's
when
a good
the
point.
investigation turned illegitimate, like, okay, I guess you have reasonable suspicion around anything. But once they were applying for surveillance based on information that the FBI already knew was coming from Russian intelligence subsources, that's when they jumped the shark for me. They were signing FISA renewals when they knew that Steele was relying on people who were Russian intelligence people.
There was a report. Was that the Horowitz report or was that the Durham report?
That was Horowitz.
Okay, one of them was about the FBI, and it did find errors. Yes, it did. Absolutely. No.
And like, doesn't it bother you when an FBI lawyer is pledging fidelity to the resistance while changing an email?
That doesn't mean that there wasn't something there also.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
go back to politically incorrect days. O.J. Simpson did kill his ex-wife, and the police were also corrupt.
I think his son did it just for the record. But continuing on with Bill Maher and Club Random with Matt Gaetz.
But do you think they framed him? Like, do you think they
OJ?
Yeah, they took active steps to frame him?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
they had their own problems, admittedly. It's
yes,
LAPD.
and that's the analogy with the FBI. There were problems, and the FISA thing was the most glaring of those errors. But
you realize what
also he was having contacts. Just to say publicly, Russia, if you're listening, I mean, nobody ever did that. George Stephanopoulos said, you know, if a foreign power sent you intel, oh, well, I think you should look at it. No, you shouldn't. You should go to the FBI and say, a country who is not called America is trying to influence our elections. That's what you do. You go to the FBI. You don't look at it.
You know what? That would be nice. But Bill, as everything else in our world has become globalized, trade, information, our elections have become globalized too. And the notion that the way we're going to be resilient.
Okay. I forgot. I thought and this was where Matt Gaetz admitted that Paul Manafort was a mistake, but he later on was admitting it. And my ending take on that is it always seems like it's the right that's the one that says, oh, I agree with this, but it's never on the other side, or you don't see it in the same at the same level. They might do it, but you know, who do you see on the other side, even the based left? Who do you see or hear say, call out all the problems with Black Lives Matter? You don't see anybody like that. But you see Matt Gaetz here on the other side calling out Paul Manafort. Why would he not call him out? He's not on the same kind of political ideology as him, but he's admitting that was a mistake.
So our origin story for me goes back to Politically Incorrect, what I still believe is I'm not just kissing your ass, one of the best shows that was on TV.
Thanks.
It's way better than your show now, but it's
politically so insulting.
Politically Incorrect was so good.
That's so insulting.
It's not. I'm just for the OG.
You're saying to me what I did 25 years ago is better than what I've done the last 20 years. That's insulting. I'm not going to be mad at you for the rest of the interview. I just want to tell you that's just a fucking stupid way to start a conversation.
So you think
you peaked 20 years ago, Bill? Let's be friends.
No, it's not.
You just said
it's a better artistic presentation of your work.
First of all, you're wrong. You know, you could say to me, I like that show too, but it's certainly not better than Real Time. It just isn't. It was what it was. It was a design train wreck. People from different walks of life. Maybe you were young, it appealed to you more then. What don't you like about the current show?
I think it's good. It's not a criticism of the current show. Look, I like, Taylor Swift's current stuff. I don't think it's better than her initial album.
Well, don't compare me to Taylor Swift. I'm not a big
no, but in terms of artists, you can have better presentations of your art.
So but I mean, Real Time, we have on actually into people and people who are expert in talking about the subjects we're talking about. Politically Incorrect, we had, Carrot Top and Pauly Shore on.
No, but what I liked about it is that you would interface those folks with lawmakers, with authors, people like that, and you do that on Real Time as well.
But not Pauly Shore. You have to be knowledgeable of what we're talking about. It's a much more adult show. I invented it, sweetheart. So, I love Politically Incorrect. The sign is right behind you. It's not better than what I do now. I mean, the game went up. It didn't go down. But, everybody's like their opinion.
Do you think part of that is attention span is so fleeting now? Like when we would create content in my congressional office. Like,
Great job by Matt Gaetz there. He meant no disrespect, and he was just in a pickle. It was almost like you're maybe talking to your wife or something like that, and you don't mean any disrespect. You try to give a compliment and say like, "Hey, the last time man, that cheese, maybe she just made a cheesecake." And you say, "Oh man, remember that cheesecake you made 3 years ago?" And she'd be like, "Well, what about the cheesecake I made right now?" No, no, it's good. It's good. It's good. That Gates was like, he's like, no, no, no. I wasn't trying to diss. It wasn't a diss.
Thanks.
it's way better than your show now. But it's
What?
politically
That's so
incorrect.
insulting.
Politically incorrect was so good.
That's so insulting.
It's not. I'm just for the OG.
You're saying to me what I did.
See, Matt Gaetz is like me, like try to get out of it. Everybody makes some type of stupid statement to their wife, and then you have to talk your way out of it. Now, at this point, you just have to shut up. Sometimes it's good to shut up, but Matt Gaetz is like, wait, well, hold up. He wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Bill Maher was in his feelings.
It was I'm not just kissing your ass. One of the best shows that was on TV.
Thanks.
It's way better than your show now. But it's
what?
Politically
That's so
incorrect.
Insulting.
Politically incorrect was so good.
That's so insulting.
It's not. I'm just for the OG.
You're saying to me what I did 25 years ago is better than what I've done the last 20 years. That's insulting.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying, Bill. What, do you need a tissue? Are you all right? You okay, bro? You got that estrogen levels real high right now. I thought you were a health dude. I was trying to big you up, but if we need to do this, we can do this. I was trying to big you up. I watched you growing up. You're like an idol, man. Like you could tell Matt Gaetz was like idolizing him. And I would too. I've always liked Bill Maher. He's gone Trump derangement syndrome now. So let's talk about your show now. Let's talk about how you talk about Trump now. You sound like an out of touch boomer. I have a clip of you, Bill Maher. Tim Pool crashes out on him all the time. I have a clip of you, Bill Maher, saying that the clip about the tiny hats. He was saying that being Jewish is not an ethnicity; it's a religion. He literally said that, and his friend who was the guest on the show was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?"
I didn't really know. I didn't know that you'd grown up Catholic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My mother was culturally Jewish. I never even knew that till I was 13. She didn't go to church with us, and I was just so traumatized by the church experience. My father, my sister, and I would go to church. My sister and I would go to catechism.
Yeah.
Where you learn how to be a Catholic. It was also traumatizing to me that I never even thought, why doesn't mom come with us? She just never did, and I just accepted it. I said, why? And she said, well, I'm not really Jewish, but our family was Jewish. That
Well, so then you are Jewish.
Well, see, I hate when people say that because a religion is nothing more than an opinion.
No, but I'm talking about like bloodline Jewish. If your mother was Jewish, then you're Jewish according to Jewish bloodline.
But again, Jewish is a religion, which is a thought system. It's not the same thing as I'm Irish. That is an ethnic category. Jewish is not an ethnic category.
The Israeli then? I mean, I don't know how would have Hebrew?
You're adorable.
No, Hebrew. I don't know. What would you then call a non-practicing, not like, what do you call a person who is Jewish but is not like a Jew that's practicing the religion?
Nothing. I mean,
Bill?
No, but again, because and people do this all the time. They mix up a Jew as an ethnic group. It's not an ethnic group. It's a religion, which is something goes on in your mind.
It's both.
No, it's not. There are Jews all over the world. They originated in.
There's Irish all over the world. Doesn't mean that just because they go to another country doesn't make them not Irish anymore.
No, but like if they do your DNA, Irish would be one thing, but it wouldn't be like Jewish the other.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I don't think it would. I think it'd be like
100%.
And mine is Hungarian.
Okay, well then maybe you get some Hungarian Jew in there.
I'm the Hungarian, but again, I could have been. Back when the family was in Hungary, that side of the family, one of them could have suddenly become an Episcopalian, and then but it would still be Hungarian blood.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that's getting this.
But anyway, the point is,
my 23andMe told me I was like a percentage Ashkenazi Jew, so clearly they can track down something like that. I don't know.
If you know me at all, you know that
he talks about things, and he has the boomer level knowledge of everything. I liked your show better, Bill, when you weren't a boomer, or you're always a boomer, but before you became the old that you are now. I like Club Random. And that's not even a diss to your current show. I said your old one was better. Yeah, that's how it works. Eminem was better in 98 than he is now. He's good now, but he's kind of corny now. He's older now. And as good as some of these rappers are now or artists, that's what you were saying with the Taylor Swift stuff. But if we need to, Bill, but you know what? Matt Gaetz is more graceful. He's a better man than I. He changed the subject to long form or short form. Respect to that from Matt Gaetz. If you have not seen this whole conversation, I would highly recommend that you go see it.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.